Hey everyone, and welcome back to Battleborn. I've got a new build for you. This one is for Toby, and I call it Killing with Kindness. Now, a lot of people like to pigeonhole Toby as strictly a sniper character, and while he's an amazing sniper, that is certainly not all that he brings to the table. He just does a lot of damage. He does a ton of damage, but he's incredibly squishy. So the trick with Toby is to either find a spot where you can shoot at the enemy where they have a hard time shooting back, or just to be really mobile with him, utilize your force field well, get the jump on people, and just obliterate them. So Toby's just one of those characters that if he gets ignored, he's going to rack up the kills, or if you're really good at getting the jump on people, you're just going to get kills left and right. And what this build is going to do is make our close range options better. So we're going to take the slow on the arc mines, and we're also going to use his legendary so we can shoot out two. So we can really get in there and do our damage without having to worry too much about retaliation. And if they do retaliate well, we can just get out of there with our boosters. Alright, so if this sounds like your type of build, let's jump into the Helix and I'll show you how to set it up. Alright, so for level 1, we're going with me and my magnets. That's going to make every railgun shot you shoot through your force field do 25% extra damage. It's pretty much a must-have for Toby. Alright, level 2, we're going to the right with best offense. That means that allies standing behind Toby's force field get health regeneration and attack speed. The attack speed, unfortunately, doesn't really help you, but the health regen does, and it comes in really handy. And if anyone happens to be nearby when you put down that force field, they're going to get those benefits as well, so that's always good. Level 3, we're going to the right with Still Alive, Sorry. That's going to increase Toby's maximum shield strength by 240, which is a pretty sizable increase. Alright, level 4, we're going to the left with Sorry I Broke Your Legs. That adds the slow to the arc mines, which is incredibly useful. Makes it really hard for people to move and really easy for you to shoot them. And like I said, we're going to have the legendary, so we're going to be able to put down 2 of those. And if you place them well, you're going to keep people slowed for a really long time. And as Toby, you don't need long to kill them. You don't need long at all. Alright, level 5. We are going to the left with boosted boosters. Gives us another charge to our boosters. So before we had 3 charges, now we've got 4. Alright, level 6, we're going up the middle with Overcompensating. That increases the projectile size by 25% when you shoot through the force field. So they're already big. It's easy to hit your target with them, and that just makes them even larger. So now you can really nail people without having to have that precision aim. Alright, level 7, we are going to the left with Riding the Rail. That decreases the time required to fully charge Toby's railgun by 20%, which is really nice. Lets you really shoot out extremely quickly. Now, a lot of people like to go with Heart Piercer for the penetration. I don't really find it helps me with killing players. And with our setup with the 2 arc mines, with the slow, we've got plenty of wave clear. So Heart Piercer is nice for wave clear, but not necessary for our setup. So I recommend going to the left. Alright, level 8, we're going to the right with Room for Mistakes. That doubles force field's total health, which if you're an experienced Toby player, you know that force field goes down quick when it's focused. So having it have double the health really comes in handy. Level 9, we are going to the left with What's Mine Is Yours. That increases Arc Mine's area of effect radius by 50%. We're not using Arc Mines for the damage. The damage is just a nice little boost. So doubling, or not doubling, but making the area of effect radius larger on them just means you have a larger radius for your slow, which is what you really want out of your mines. And then level 10, we're going to the right with Endangering Species. That adds a slow to the ultimate, which a lot of people hate on the ultimate. I kind of like it, and once I hit level 10 with the 3-second slow duration on it, then I really like it. So the slow on it just makes it really hard for people to avoid its damage, and it does a lot of damage. So that's what I go with Endangering species on the right. Alright, so those are my Helix choices. Let's jump over to the gear. And so this first set is what I use. It's my expensive set for Incursion and Meltdown. So the first item I go with is an Artificial Vitae. It's 7 health regen per second. Normally I go with a slightly better one that gives me more regen when I stay alive for longer, but with the regen from the shield, I find that makes up for it. So I like to go with this cheaper item because I have 2 legendaries I'm running with. And the first legendary is Toby's specific legendary item, his one you get from completing all of his lore challenges, and that's the Double Hug. Reduces your cooldown time, increases your movement speed, and allows you to set 2 arc mines at a time, but at the cost of them dealing less damage. But like I said, the damage is just a nice little cherry on top. I don't really care all that much about the damage. I want the slow. Alright, and the third item I go with is the Symbiotic Gauntlet. And I can't actually remember where this comes from. It's drawing blanks. But I'll put in a note on the video because, yeah, I just don't remember where I got this thing. But anyways, it gives me 8.84% attack damage, 204 to my maximum health, so it gives me a little bit more survivability. And based on how much health I have, which will normally be full with Toby, I get an extra, up to an extra 8.84% attack damage. Alright, so those are the items I use for Incursion and Meltdown. If I go into Capture, this is what I like to use. First item, Artificial Vitae for health regeneration. Second item, Duelist Glove for 9.1% attack damage. And the third item is a freebie, the Erratic Internal Capacitor. Increases my maximum shield strength by 140 at the cost of increased reload speed, which does not affect Toby. So freebie on that with no negative. Alright, so there you go. That's my Helix setup and my gear that I like to bring. Let's jump to some clips and I'll explain to you how the level progression works with this build. Starting out at level 1, you're better off being a sniper. Find a spot to settle down where you can get fire on the enemy and drop your arc mines down on minion waves. If the enemy pops your shield, then fall back. Trying to exchange fire with them without your accelerated shots through the shield is almost always futile. Level 2 gives you health regeneration and attack speed boosts from your force field for yourself and your allies. The regeneration you get from the shield, along with the regen item we take, will keep you topped off as long as you're bailing out early whenever you get focused. Toby can't stick around when there's fire on him, so you need to get used to retreating. You're going to be doing it often. Level 3 increases your survivability by increasing your maximum shield strength by 240 points. You should still sort of be hanging back and playing more of a sniper role, but once you get a little higher in levels, those extra shields will really help you if you choose to be more aggressive. And that's kind of the beauty of Toby. He does just great at range, but he can also get right up there in people's faces as long as you know what you're doing. Level 4 gets you the slow on your arc mines, which is fantastic for wave clearing. The slow on the mines also lets you get aggressive with enemy players if you so choose, and allows you to better defend yourself when you get rushed by enemy players. Once you hit level 4, your main goal should be unlocking your legendary gear as soon as possible, because those 2 arc mines with slow is a huge benefit for whatever playstyle you want to employ. The levels, getting levels is always good, but in this case, your best option is to get that gear. The levels come second to that. Level 5 gets you an extra charge to your boosters from the Helix, and it unlocks your ultimate ability. A lot of people don't like the ultimate with Toby because it's limited range, semi-long charge up, and the fact that it leaves you vulnerable, but I use it all the time to great effect. If you're going to use it, then try to charge it up out of line of sight of your enemies, and then walk around the corner with it blasting away. It'll do a lot of damage on a single target for you, and if you need to, you can always cancel it and run away. Level 6 increases your projectile size of shots that go through your force field. Toby's shots are already vastly easier to land than other sniper characters, but this makes it even easier. That's sort of the trade-off you get with Toby. It's easier to hit your targets when you're sniping because the projectiles are so large and his damage output is massive, but the shield is really easy to take down, so you need to get those kills quickly before that shield is destroyed, because without the force field, Toby's shots are far less threatening. Level 7 decreases the charge time on your shots, so if you're good at releasing shots as soon as you're at full charge, then you can shoot max damage hits out at an incredibly fast pace. You should also be getting close to activating your Symbiotic Gauntlet, which is a massive increase to your damage. So these two increases on top of each other, the increased damage and the increased shot speed, is a huge bonus to Toby and really lets you rack up kills. Like, you're just gonna be aim, bam, bam, dead. Level 8 doubles the health of your force field, which is a huge help, but it doesn't really change your approach with the shield. The force field will still get obliterated by focus fire, but even an extra second can be the difference between getting and not getting the kill, because your damage falls off pretty dramatically once the force field is gone. As I said earlier, the trick with Toby is to take people out before they even know where you're at, or they're distracted by your allies. All the double HP on the force field is really going to do is buy you a little more time and make sure random like area effect abilities and stray bullets don't take it down. Level 9 increases the area of effect radius on your slow mines, which is awesome. Now your 2 mines can really lock down a large area, and most people don't ever bother to actually destroy the mine, so most likely they're going to lock it down for the entire 8-second duration. And if any players are silly enough to try to wade through those mines and get themselves slowed, you're just gonna blow them away. Like, it's so easy to hit slowed targets and you do so much damage, they're just toast. Level 10 puts a slow effect on the ultimate, and if you didn't use it up to this point, you should seriously consider using it now, because the slow on it is fantastic and it makes it really easy for you to keep the beam focused on the player. Also, remember that the ultimate can crit, but I usually just go for center mass, and if I can get some crits in there, then awesome, but I'd rather not miss, so I'm happy with the body shots personally. Well, there you have it, folks, the Killing with Kindness build for Toby. If you decide to use this build, just be a little patient with it. You're likely going to need some practice with it before you really learn how to utilize it well, because it's very easy for a team to bully Toby, and it can be difficult to learn how to deal with that situation. Getting good at knowing how to approach fights, when to use your skills, especially the force field, and especially when to bail out of an engagement are crucial to doing well with him. Obviously, you need to be a good aim and get good at firing shots at max charge too, but that's kind of a given. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this build, and be sure to let me know how it works out for you in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.